Welcome, everybody. This is the Sports Counterpoint Show. Excuse me. Sorry. I am GB. I got Brian and Coop with me. What's going on, my guys?
Right on.
Oh,
Man, we back at it. NFL schedule dropped today, so there's a little bit of excitement in the air. I know I was hyped watching. We already talked about some games we're going to, what's going on there, and then we got NBA playoffs going, and we're getting to it. So let's see what we got. Um, let's see. Can I do that? Yeah, don't need that. Cool. So getting to the episode for May the 14th, 2026. Let's start with some Coop. You had a question actually you wanted to ask, man. Go and throw it out.
man, I did have a question, but it was basket. I had a few questions, man, but
There you
this is the
got it.
one that really intrigued me. So I'm gonna
Go
ask
for it.
this one. Um, I was just thinking about just NBA, man. I was just thinking about how many teams James Harden and Kevin Durant have played for. I mean, they've been, Kevin Durant been traveling since high school, man. Three high schools then, and 1 year in college, and bouncing around the NBA. So it got me thinking. So let me ask the fellas, when they go to the Hall of Fame, because as Brian alluded to, he has a good word for it. It's the Hall of Good now, it ain't the Hall of Fame. They're going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Total
What
basketball career.
teams? What teams are they? Is Kevin Durant and James Harden going to go under? And I want to start with James Harden because Kevin Durant is the tricky one. I'm gonna start with James Harden. So Brian, what team does James Harden go in under when he gets to the Hall of Fame?
Houston. Just
I
because
agree.
that's where he made his name and ran up a whole bunch of silly stats.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I, I agree because that's where I think did he win an MVP? Thought he won an MVP or a scoring title or
I
something. I,
think
I think it was with the
Yeah,
J. I think it
and
was with
he
Houston.
he definitely won scoring titles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I'd say the same thing. I think Houston. What about you, GB?
I think well, one, it's basketball total. So I think it counts from when you start playing at 5 years old. It's your entire basketball impact. But I think they just go by player, coach, or whatever. Honestly, I think it's not NBA, it's Basketball Hall of Fame for Naismith. But it's
yeah. They
got to
don't
be
actually assign a team, but it's just for
Right,
speculation.
it had to be
right.
Houston just because of the tenure there, and they had a couple of playoff runs. They had actually quite a few playoff runs. They ran up against the Warriors, and most of those are other teams that got taken out. But I think it's got to be.
Yeah, I think it's Houston because not only did he have deep playoff runs there, but he was the leading man, whereas OKC wasn't the leading man. And he
No,
did win an MVP
that's why he
there,
left.
20, right. And he did win an MVP there, 2017, 2018 season. He averaged 30 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds, and they had the best record,
Balling.
65 and 17. So I think definitely that he goes in as a Houston Rocket.
Makes sense. What about
I,
KD?
yeah. KD, that's the tricky one. Brian, who is he going under?
I think he goes under. Um, he goes in for Golden State. I know that he's played a lot more seasons in OKC, but he only got one
That's true.
championship, and that's with Golden State. Um, but from a statistic standpoint, and again, you have to choose these things. They can go in for all of them, but
Right.
if you his best season statistically was his third season for OKC, 30, 10, and 9. So I would still say Golden State championships is what matter. So 9 years at OKC, I would still think Golden State.
Yeah, I'm saying OKC. The way
Yeah, I
he
would too.
left Golden State and that whole Draymond Green thing, and I don't Golden State Warrior fans. It's almost to me like how I feel about LeBron and the Lakers, but they don't look at KD as one of their own. Like I don't look at LeBron, even though I'm a Laker fan. I don't look at LeBron as one of our players. Yes, he plays for us, but not one of our guys. And so I think it's the same with Golden State. So I think he goes in at OKC because that's where he made his name and made his fame. And then he kind of, it was a mercenary to get some titles with Golden State. Not mad at him. I would have stayed personally, but I think OKC. What about you, GB?
I probably say OKC because that's like you said, that's where the Kevin Durant
Nine
legend
years.
started. But to your point about LeBron, it's funny because LeBron's been at the Lakers now more than just as much as Cleveland. I think it's be
No, it's 11 years with Cleveland and two stints, 8 years with the Lakers and 4 years with Miami. But if he
close,
resigns this time, which would probably be a 2 to 3 year deal, it could end up being equal.
equal. Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
assuming,
I
but
would
right
go
now it's eight
OKC.
and 11.
Yeah, KD's as a player was ridiculous on OKC. I mean, obviously Warriors and all that too, but just what they was doing and what he was like, took that team to the finals too. I mean, obviously, you had Russ and Harden there, but KD on OKC is what I'm always going to think of. If I was, I don't wear other team jerseys, but if I was, I would get the OKC 35 or the Sonics 35. So good question. Good question. So we're already on the NBA hype. Let's talk about the playoffs. Coop, man, I've been clowning you, bro, because every time you find the worst game played and be like, see, you can't tell
Man,
me the NBA is good. I'm like, bruh, I'm watching the game. It's super tight. It's close. It barely goes. You don't mention those.
when,
Then a 30-point blowout. It's
when?
terrible. I'm like, I think we
Even the
changed, man.
Lakers Thunder for game 4 went down to the end.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
game four. Yeah. What about 1 through 3 for game 4? Yeah,
I
I
mean,
got you.
Just
No,
that's
saying.
okay,
to be
I
expected
got
though.
you.
But yeah, looking at
Uh,
where we're
oh, wait,
currently
wait.
at.
Wait, GB. On that note, the last game I saw was on Tuesday. San Antonio 126, Minnesota 97. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
they got what I
I'm
mean.
just
Hey man, that Spurs team, bro. Like Wemby, if he, hey, knocking on knock on wood and all that. I just hope he stays, no injury or anything. Because bruh is crazy to watch. It's like
I get it.
insane. Like he
But
can
30
hoop, man, and
points
to be like
playoffs.
that height, weight and all that. I know he's like lanky, slender, man, but bruh be moving, man. Blocks,
Yeah.
assists,
Oh yeah.
jumper, I'm like, man, bruh could ball. It's crazy. So
I mean,
I think obviously the
well,
Spurs are close
well,
to
I'm just letting
closing
you
that one
know
out.
the reason why I started this looking at these scores is when I saw the Knicks kill Atlanta every game, and they were about 50 in the second quarter. I mean, I ain't seen a beat down like that in Atlanta since Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen jumped Dusty Rhodes.
Okay,
Man, I'm just
look at
saying
this guy.
that was bad.
What a
That was
reference.
bad.
What a
That
reference.
was
But
bad.
I think that's also to be expected. You know what I mean? When you're talking about a three or
But
six and a Knicks
hey,
team that's hot.
the Knicks
Yeah,
man are doing the Blues Brother right now. They're on a mission because
And
they're
yeah,
smoking. They smoked the 76ers too. So
yeah,
yeah, and the
yeah. They
Sixers,
did.
man, had a heck of a series to come back and beat the Celts too. So
Oh, I'm never mad at that. They beat the
yeah, me
Celtics.
neither.
The way Brian feels about the Clippers, how
Me
I feel
neither.
about the Celtics. So I'm not mad at all. Yeah.
I had not a problem, my brother. So
Right.
looking at where we're currently at, you already got the Knicks, as you said, have moved on with the 4-0 sweep on the east side. On the west side, the OKC moves on with a 4-0 sweep over the Lakers, over our squad. So right now you got the Thunder in there and the Knicks, and then on the other side, it's pretty awesome because you got the 3-2s on both series. So let's start in the West. Timberwolves, Spurs. Spurs are up 3-2. They whooped the Timberwolves, like you said. I don't know that you can answer against that team if Wemby's playing like that, but kind of what you got, what's your thoughts on the series? And then, I mean, I think we know who you're going to say who wins, but go ahead.
Go ahead, B.
yeah, I do think the Spurs close it out in tomorrow's game. The Timberwolves have played well, but they're just not built to play with the Spurs, especially when Wemby's playing like this. Yeah,
Yeah,
Agree.
yeah, I'm with you. I mean, this is what I want to see in the West. I want to see the Thunder and the Spurs. I'm sure we might talk about the Thunder and Lakers series maybe in a minute, but Timberwolves, good effort. They beat Denver, which good for them. But the Spurs, a little different beast this season, man. I know you talked about Wemby earlier, but Castle's also a baller too. I like watching his game as well, and I'm waiting for them to see the Thunder. So I think Spurs close it out. They won't go 7.
There. Well, I'll give you a chance to talk about Thunder, Lakers. There wasn't too much to talk about, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers just aren't built to beat a team like the Thunder. The Thunder they don't have to play perfect to beat the Lakers. They could be down 10 or 15 points and come back and win by 10 or 15 points. The Lakers can't do that. I've said before that their best players are the worst defensive players, Reeves, LeBron, and Luca, and they just don't have enough firepower or enough defense to beat a team like the Thunder. OKC won 4-0. To me, that was expected. I didn't expect the Lakers to get a game in. It looks like the Thunder take beating the Lakers personally, and they love doing it. And plus, I want the Thunder to win because I think the Spurs and the Thunder, man, will be a great Western Conference Finals. Two young teams going at it. It'd be exciting to watch.
Definitely. B, you got any thoughts?
no, I mean, I kind of expected this. I was hoping they would get at least one game in. But they didn't. And honestly, I'm so glad to not have to watch DeAndre Ayton anymore. Um, And the worst part is that you can almost bet that he's going to take his player option for the money. So you're going to have to at least deal with them until they trade him. But his effort, the way he played was absolutely pathetic. You got Reeves, who played well in spurts coming off the injury. He's played really well all season. You had Rui, who was playing really well. You had what's his name, Jared. he played really well. LeBron played solid, and obviously Luka was hurt. So I'm not as sold on the OKC dominance being because they're just built that way. There's injuries, there's a lot of other factors, but the biggest factor is that Ayton doesn't belong on any team that has any aspirations of winning any games in a playoff series. That is absolutely woeful. They should be able to dock his pay for the way he played.
Cool. So sliding to the east
I guess I
side,
did
man.
have something to say.
I'm about to say, yeah, you had a couple, you had a couple words, man. You had a couple words for him.
All right.
This
That's
guy
all
was
right.
this guy was like the South at the Source Awards. He had something to say for sure. So Knicks Sixers, man. Give me your thoughts on that. Knicks sweep them 4-0. Coop, what you think?
Knicks just better team, just depth wise all the way around. I mean, the 76 got a couple of ballers with Edgecombe and the other guy, I think Maxius or whatever. But
Yeah, Maxi was hooping
I mean,
straight up.
Embiid's okay. But I just think the Knicks are just a better team and a better, I would say, coach team on the defensive end. And they end up beating the 76ers. I'm just happy 76ers beat Boston. So
Yeah,
that's an achievement right there. So no slight to the Sixers, but good job for the Knicks. They're back in the conference finals, man, and got a chance to probably go to the finals. B, what you think about it?
I'm just remembering it was like 2 shows ago where you said that the Knicks were a fraud. They were in a
Yeah,
3-2
I thought they would lose
series.
to Boston. Yeah, I did.
They,
I thought they would
not
beat
the
Boston.
yeah. But anyways,
You're right.
this Knicks team, I don't know that they're as good as their performance. I think this is exactly what it looks like when you have solid players who come together, coalesce, and are playing the right way at the right time. It reminds me a lot of the Detroit Pistons team that ended up winning the championship against the
yeah,
Lakers. Nobody on this team is individually awesome. There are some very good players on this team, and right now they're just playing great basketball together. And that's enough to get them
to say.
probably to the finals because I don't
Yep.
see how either the Cavs or the Pistons. We didn't really talk about who we think's going to win that series, but I don't know how the Cavs or the Pistons are going to be able to beat a Knicks team that plays like they played against the 76ers. Long layoffs does things to teams, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the matchups though. I mean, the Hawks, yeah, but I thought they would play Boston in the second round. They got the 76ers, who they're clearly better than, so the matchups are kind of worked
Yeah,
in their favor as well. And I'm with you. I don't think they're as good as people might think they are. They might seem they are, but they're here and they're at the finals, and they're gonna be playing. Who they gonna be playing, Brian? Cleveland or Pistons?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. What you got? Who you guys got? It's
so I think that
currently
one goes to
Cleveland leading
seven
the series three
games.
to two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
I'm I'm going to go with Pistons to get it to 7 games. Quite honestly, you could flip a coin. I just like the Cavs build up a little bit better. So I'm going to say the Cavs win the series, but I think it will probably get to 7 games just because I don't think the Detroit Pistons are pushovers. And they're the number 1 seed for a reason.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah.
Where's game six at? I'm about to look right now. Game six is
Game 6 should
tomorrow.
be in Cavaliers. Should be a
Oh, it's
Cavs
in
home game
Yeah,
Cleveland.
I
because
think it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm gonna take Cleveland to close this out in six.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Cleveland,
three
Cleveland
they're 3.5 point favorites.
yeah, Cleveland has won the last three games. They were down 0-2 and they won the last three. They looks like they probably figured out how to beat because they go into the fourth quarter with leads and they kind of hold on to them. Looks like they figured out how to beat Detroit. So I'm gonna take Cleveland to close this out in six next game, even with James Harden on the team playing major minutes.
I would, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Fair
Yep.
enough. Cool. So yeah, we'll see what happens. You got a couple games tomorrow, and then playoffs start in a couple weeks. I mean, the playoffs finals start in a couple weeks. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's your NBA quick rundown. Wanted to get into that, but I mean, without further ado, man, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this NFL schedule. So was looking at this. Coop sent this graphic here. What you're seeing on the right side, or excuse me, the left side, team, their current strength of schedule based on the opponents they played last year and their winning percentage, and then across the what was it X and Y? I don't remember. I don't remember. I haven't been in school in a while. Across the horizontal, you got all the teams they're playing by logo. So, for instance, the Bears are starting with the Panthers week 1. Then they play the Vikings week 2, Eagles week 3, so on and so forth. Looking at the Dolphins, I know they play both our squads back to back. Coop, that's what's up.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
I'll talk about them in a minute.
yeah, let's kind of, I mean, schedules out. This is front half kind of. We'll slide down and show more of the teams, but kind of let's just, initial thoughts. What are you excited about? Everything's laid out now. We know who people are playing
Look,
and what's going down.
look, I'll start my team schedule, man. Look, Kyle Shanahan is still pissed off that they playing in Australia. It's going to be 10:30 a.m. local time in Australia when they play the game against the Rams. The Rams, of course, wanted this game because the 49ers take over their stadium in the regular season, so they were more than happy not to play this game at home. I guess to do a 49ers a
Interesting.
solid, they gave them a couple layups after the game with Miami and Arizona. And then they got Denver at home, and then Seattle, which
Yep.
won't be the same Seattle team as last season. They'll be the 100 this year, and they lost 6 starters off that Super Bowl team. But the schedule, what I noticed is the schedule was kind of brutal late because I guess at this point, maybe the NFL expects all of the 49ers hurt players to be back and in some kind of rhythm after playing a couple of games because weeks 10 through 17, they're going. It's Dallas, you got Minnesota and Mexico City. I think they're at Dallas. Then you got Seattle. Then you got the Giants, where a couple of star players always get hurt on that turf. You got the Rams at Chargers, at KC, and home against the Eagles. So that stretch right there, 10 through 17, can actually make or break the 49ers season. That's what I got from the schedule, besides that, BS game in Australia. But other than that, I don't know if y'all got any thoughts.
Man,
Y'all can roll with your
November
teams.
November 8th, bro. What you mean? That's the game. Raiders, Niners in Santa Clara, man.
All
Please,
right.
we've been talking about. I was just hoping that game didn't end up in Mexico. I didn't think y'all's game, the Vikings and Niners, was going to end up in Mexico. That wasn't
I
even
didn't
on
either.
my radar, possibly, but
That
here
wasn't
we
on my
are.
bingo card, no
Not
doubt.
at all.
No
So,
doubt.
yeah, which is also
Yeah.
looking at your schedule. I mean, you got three home games in a row. So that, yeah, they send you to Australia, but y'all get three home games in a row.
Yeah. Right.
That's love. So, so that's kind of where the Niners are at. B, what do you think about? Let's look at the Vikes, man. You'll start with the Pack at home,
Yeah, it's a tough two-game stretch to start it.
straight
You get
division.
Green Bay at home, but you got the Bears right after, and the Bears
Yep.
played well obviously last year and made it to the playoffs and all that
On
other
the
good
road,
stuff.
yeah.
Tampa Bay is no pushover. They always find a way to win. They're actually one of the harder teams to play early because the biggest problem they have are injuries. And so, right then and there, they should still be relatively healthy. Miami Dolphins is not a big deal. Neither is the New Orleans Saints. And quite honestly,
Early
neither the
bye,
Colts. Yeah, you get a bye Colts, but then you get a
early.
absolutely horrific stretch of Detroit, Buffalo, Green Bay, and then finishing off in Mexico City
Mexico,
against
yeah,
San
that's tough.
Francisco. That is rough. The Falcons are kind of hit and miss, but they looked like they were going to be good this year, so that could be a really tough game too. So that middle section, this is another one of those situations where you could go 4 or 5 weeks and only go and have a losing record for that period of time and still feel good about a season because they
Sure,
could possibly have won some of the other games early. It
sure.
gets a little lighter, obviously, with the Carolina Panthers. The New England Patriots, no pushover. I mean, this is a tough schedule kind of in this middle section here. You get the Patriots and then you get the Lions again. Washington, depending on which team they field, but the nice thing
Especially at
is
the
that
end,
they do
yeah.
get to play the Jets this year. They get to play the Jets in New York. I'm gonna have to talk to a friend. That might be another game that I end up going to.
That would be fun to
And
get
then
told.
yeah, and then finishing off with the Bears. That game could mean a lot or nothing at all for division, which is always good when they do division games at the end. But that could be a very big game. I would circle that in wax.
Definitely. No, that's
Yeah.
that's
I
big.
think for Minnesota, look, projections are all over the place in Minnesota. If you told me Minnesota was going to win 7 games next year, I would believe you. If you told me they would win
Yeah.
11 games next year, I would believe you. It's all about the Kyler Murray thing. But what I will say is
I forgot about
Minnesota
that.
starting, Minnesota starting off with Green Bay and Chicago. I think that's good for you because here's why. If you can go 2-0 in those games, I think Minnesota's off to a great
It's
start
a
and going to the playoffs that year.
huge if.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And it's a
tough.
They could
huge if,
just
but
easily go
it's a
0
good
and
test.
2. Yeah.
But I'm just saying I saw that and I'm like, oh, I'm interested in those 2 games because that could tell a lot about Minnesota early. I mean, you go
Real
two and
quick.
Yeah.
zero, man. You can It's a tough
Going
division.
into the
It has to
bye
be
week,
big.
It's
Minnesota
such an
always
early
feels
bye.
it feels like they always get an early bye. Last time they did
Yeah.
the early bye and 2 international games in back-to-back weeks, it was a bunch of garbage. But anyways, if they go into the bye 3-2, I don't know that I'm unhappy. Like,
Yeah.
if they win, and that would be like kind of outstanding. But two of those wins are probably the Dolphins and the Saints, which aren't very good. That
Or
means
the
they're only going to
Bucks.
win in that scenario. They're going to win one against three tough teams. It's going to be rough. I don't know. It's not. I wouldn't. I would like to have one of these other schedules towards the bottom of this list here.
That's
Let me
funny.
start my schedule.
Right.
Start with Jacksonville. Let me start with Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Pittsburgh, and the Jets to begin my
Boy,
season. Like, really? And then,
boy,
and
boy,
here's the
you ain't
thing.
lying.
I know we're not planning on talking about it, but I'm guaranteeing that they have a winning record going into after 5 weeks. And I got to listen to a bunch of people saying Shador's the truth. No,
Oh
he's
yeah.
not.
Oh,
Look at the scale.
oh,
Look
I'm
at the
gonna talk about
schedule.
that. That's one of the teams I'm gonna talk about, Cleveland. But yeah, let's
Of
go to the
course.
Raiders. Yep.
Oh yeah, we got to do a drinking game on that. How much if we did like a Shador and Russell drinking game, I'd
That's
have to go to the
yeah.
hospital.
What you think
Genuinely
Combinations
about the
come
Ra-
50 people.
crazy. So
What you think
I
about the
mean,
Raiders schedule, Glenn? Number 7.
I know. I kind of want to. I'm trying to show everybody's schedule so people can see as they look. But so starting with the Dolphins at home. Now the main thing is everything is unknown for us, right? I guess every team, kind of to your point, Coop, you can only do so much with previous strength of schedule because teams change, et cetera. But that's the metric we have based on
Right.
who you were playing and how they ended the
Right.
season last year. So with
Yep.
that, I mean the Dolphins, kind of like B said, I'm not too scared, but at the same time, I don't know. I think Kirk's going to start. I think Kirk plays at least half the season. And honestly, it really will be probably to that Niner game. We'll probably have a good understanding of what that team's going to be. I mean, that's pretty much halfway. So we'll have an idea. But I think the Dolphins that's a winnable game. You got to see what Malik Willis and the team are going to do. You already know how I feel about the Chargers. I'll leave their quarterback alone for this week. We're still early in there. Saints, like Brian said, not too concerning. But again, I don't know what this team is going to be. Then we're at home against Kansas City. I'll be at that. Wait, am I at that game? Yeah, I think that's the game I'm actually at. Shout out to my peoples we rolling with. So Patriots. I mean, who's coaching that team? Is it still
Diana Racima.
Vrabel? Is it?
Oh my
Oh,
bad.
yeah, it's Rabel. It's Rabel.
Yeah.
So
He
okay,
still hasn't
so
done it. He hasn't broken any rules yet, besides being a horrible husband.
I mean, hey man, we'll see.
Man,
And
hey,
I say that
he
to see
could be
what what that could do.
he could be in an open relationship. We don't know
I mean, that's cool. I know I'll be curious to
that.
see what how the team does, how it happens with it. Honestly, they should re-sign Stephon Diggs if that's the case, because they both is
Right.
rocking. Then we got the Bills, Josh Allen and that squad at home. I mean, it's at home, so that's cool, but you know how that could go. Josh Allen's tough. Rams at home, back to back. That could be easy, 2 quick L's, 2 beatdowns potentially. Jets, I appreciate that. Before we go out to play
Funny.
y'all
That's
are
funny.
chasing us after we're playing y'all after a bye, so we'll see what that does. Then Seattle, Denver, two more tough games. Browns, please win that one. We lost last time. Then the late bye, I kind of like. I mean, just
I
because you've
have a
already kind of see
conspiracy
what you
about
are,
your entire schedule, Glenn.
but and
I'll,
we'll
I'll
see from
say it
there.
after we're done.
Yeah, go ahead. But I mean, the rest of it, Chargers, more division games could be easy L's. We could lose those games. And Titans, hopefully win that game. Cardinals, hopefully win that game, and then Chiefs at home to end it. So I don't know if I'm looking at this
Your over under is five and
1, 2, 3.
a half. 5.5 wins.
That's the right number, honestly.
And,
Yeah.
and Brian, before you get
Yeah.
into it, your conspiracy
Yeah.
theory, I'm just going to talk about his schedule real quick. I just think that first of all, Mendoza's going to start, and you're going to play Miami, and the hype is going to continue because you're going to beat Miami. But I think, Glenn, that your season is going to be determined through what you just said, weeks 2 through 11, when you play the Chargers, Saints, Chiefs, New England. That's 3 road games in 4 weeks, and you got Buffalo, Rams, Jets. I think that's going to determine your season because after week 12, you're either going to be playing for next season or
Sure. Which
surprisingly in contention.
probably what it is anyway, but I don't think Mendoza starts. I'll put a shot
No,
on that.
no chance.
I'll definitely put a
Okay.
shot on
Yeah.
that for you, but
Okay.
I don't think
All right.
Mendoza starts.
I'm,
But
I'm, I'm there. I'm there too.
that's what I'm saying with
Um,
Okay.
by the Niner game.
I want to hear
well,
B's
that's
conspiracy
my whole
theory.
conspiracy here. I think that this schedule was created to give this schedule to the Raiders. You all have more of your tougher games at the beginning of your season. You have a late bye, which is perfect if you want to start a rookie quarterback after the bye week, and then after the bye week, he gets to play, a couple of divisional teams, which are going to be great for TV ratings, and 2 cupcakes. So, with the Tennessee and Arizona. this schedule was laid out to bring Mendoza in either for Cleveland right before the bye, so that he can make some adjustments, or against the Chargers right after the bye. But I would circle those 2 weeks right there is when you'll start seeing Mendoza playing.
Do you
Cousins will, in my opinion, will absolutely play for half the season.
Hold on, before that, who do y'all think starts the Niner game? When
That's what I was about to
Niners?
ask.
Cousins.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Cousins.
asking.
Okay.
So you think it's going to be
He will
Cousins
start.
playing
He will
against
start
Shanahan?
against that one and Seattle. Those two, I can guarantee you, he plays to that point in the season, minus injury.
Okay, I think it's
can see that.
Mendoza, but okay.
Yeah, well,
All right,
if you're
we'll
saying
see.
Mendoza starts, then you're already saying that.
I'm
But I
saying-
think
right.
I would be on that. And in my mind, like seeing the game in my head, it is Cousins out there for the Niners game.
Cousins
Yes,
against Shanahan.
minus an injury. There's no way that they would start him at that point in time of the season. Now, you would think that they might be able to play him against the Jets, but they're not going to put those two teams in those 2 weeks with a rookie quarterback unless Cousins is hurt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyone else curious thoughts? Other teams you're like, hey, I want
I'll
to see
let
how they
I'll let
turn
B
up.
start. There's a few I want to talk about, but I'll let B start. He got
I'll-
season team schedule.
I'll zoom us in.
Well, the only thing I will say is the Rams. I mean, the way that their schedule kind of flip flops all over the place. I think that they could be going towards the middle of the season one of the leaders, maybe even a division leader, because the way their schedule shapes out. Like they're going to beat the Giants, they're going to beat the Broncos. They should be able to beat Philly. I don't know what Buffalo team they're going to get.
Sure.
Again,
win.
Cards,
Should beat us.
Raiders. Right. They should be able to beat the Chargers too, which will be interesting because it's a home game. Washington.
Okay.
That's a lot of wins right there in that big chunk before they get a much harder schedule down the stretch.
Sure.
But right around that,
yeah.
they go into the bye, they should be able to have control of the division at that point in time. And I think, the Rams have always been a team that kind of needs to get rolling. And they gave them a great opportunity to do that with this schedule.
What you think?
Yeah, a couple things I looked at. I saw, I had to look at the Dolphins, man. I think I'm placing another bet for them to go under and win. They're over under 4.5, man. They start off with the Raiders. I still think Mendoza's gonna start. Mendoza's gonna play a good game against that team, and then consecutive weeks they play the 49ers, Chiefs, at Minnesota, Cincy. Then they have a bye week. They get the Jets, but then they got the Patriots, the Lions, the Colts, and Buffalo. And 2 weeks after that, they got Denver. I'm not seeing 5 wins in this schedule for that team, so I think I would go under.
They got the Jets twice.
That's
they got the Raiders
even
once. That's 3.
I wouldn't count the Dolphins winning them games like that. I can't.
But
and in
to
Carolina,
that point, no one else you're going to say that they're going to beat. So that's only maybe 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's even me giving them a game against us, which I think we could win.
And then I looked at Carolina's schedule. I don't know if you're going to pull that up, but Carolina, they're not going to be as good. They start off with Chicago. Week 4, they got Detroit. And after a bye, all of their out-of-division games are against Philly, Green Bay, Denver, Baltimore, Minnesota, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Seattle. That's brutal for a 5'9" quarterback.
This run right here is tough.
It's tough, man. And then I know Brian mentioned something about Cleveland. If Cleveland can actually get good quarterback play, because Deshaun Watson's going to start for them this season. If they can get good quarterback play, they can act and split their division games. They can make a playoff run. They can just split against Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh.
Division is different. That division is different.
So I don't know.
I don't know that Deshaun gets his shot. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but or any of that kind of stuff. But there's just too much noise around Shador. I don't want to hear it. Like
that we know.
That schedule is cake.
That we know.
Hey, so when I look at that Denver Broncos schedule, I don't know you're gonna pull that up. GB, Denver Broncos.
You just tell me it's coming up.
Yeah. Where they at?
At the top.
Oh, there you go, right there. Okay, yeah. So they start off with the Chiefs. This conspiracy theory. I'm on Brian's level now. I didn't think they would make this game unless they knew that Mahomes was going to play Week 1, because those first 6 weeks.
He's supposed to be at OTA soon.
Yeah. Okay. So I said they don't make this game unless they know he's playing. So the first
Monday
6
night.
weeks.
It's Monday night too.
Okay, so you might be able to play on the first 6 weeks, GB, because they got the Chiefs, Jags, Rams, 49ers, Chargers, and Seattle the first 6 weeks. So you might be able to hoorah anybody that's a Denver fan.
I'm
So
clowning
that's not an
regardless.
easy
It's
schedule.
division, man. I don't even care. Whatever my team's doing, regardless, I'm clowning. You already know. This year, I was already deciding the other day, like I'm clowning.
You funny.
So yeah,
You
it's
funny.
it's going up. So
Detroit's making the playoffs too. I don't know if you saw their schedule, Brian,
Detroit's
but
here.
Detroit's making the
So
playoffs.
I saw it.
Saints,
Yeah.
Bills, Jets.
Yeah, one of their first
Yeah,
five
this run
opponents
is.
might have a winning record, and then
I'm about to say this
you
run is
know,
tough right here. That's
and
lovely.
then
Oh,
and then,
and the Saints. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, these first four games,
look
that could
at
be 4-1 quick.
week 5 to week
4-1.
16. They don't.
Be 5-0.
I mean, the
No, they'll
Bills
lose
are
one.
a tough matchup, but yeah,
They'll
that's
lose one.
I gave them that one just to because the Bills are tough. But yeah,
But
easily.
the thing about that schedule is not only that. If you look at weeks 5 through 16, they only play 2 outdoor games. All the rest of
Oh,
the
that's
games are
big.
indoors. Yes,
Yeah, that's
they're
big.
making the playoffs. I saw that. They are making the playoffs.
So these two games are indoors. This is outdoors in Miami. That ain't bad.
Tampa Bay is outdoors.
The Green's a home game, right? I think by
Oh,
this
yeah.
thing.
Okay, you're right.
So
Yep.
back home games. Back Atlanta's a dome. Home
The
game.
Patriots, I'm sure they're
Y'all
playing. I don't know where they're
dome.
playing, but that's probably a dome in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, Coop. That's a good
Yeah,
point. That's a good point.
but
Yeah, and Miami's
yeah,
outdoors. It may be outdoors, but it's Miami.
it's
Yeah, that's what I
right.
was thinking.
There you
Like it's
go.
nice.
Right.
A little
It's
hot, yeah.
Miami outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So gonna be interesting, man. It's exciting. It's exciting things. We're already talking about if Cass is going to Mexico. I'm definitely going to that KC game. We'll probably end up at one more at least. I know all that stuff I was talking to you at the end of the season and how I gotta wait to see what happens. And we'll once the schedule came out. The NFL does this better than anybody, man. Having the schedule release how they do it, draft is important. Just everything. Like they do it well to keep you engaged, even though we know all the BS that happens in the background, from hiring of coaches and players not getting guaranteed contracts. I don't know if you've heard any of the stuff that I think it's DeMaurice Smith has been talking about. If you haven't, it's kind of been interesting when he's been talking to Pablo about some of the stuff that he found out in those kind of button heads with the NFL. But still, they got me. I'm here, ready for Madden to come out and see Kirk Cousins and Mendoza and all them boys too. So let's get to it, man. So this exciting stuff. So that's where kind of we're talking early on with the NFL schedule now that's been released. Unless you guys got anything else, we'll slide to our last few segments and we'll get up out of here.
Hmm. Let's go.
Cool. So starting with what's hogwash right now and again in the world of sports. B came up with this one day, said something was a bunch of hogwash. We all laughed. It's been a weekly segment since. B, what you got right now that's hogwash?
Not much. I guess
That's
I'll
good.
go to the. I already kind of started on that soapbox. I probably should have saved it for this, but that is absolutely pathetic. His effort is absolutely the definition of hogwash. I seriously, like, there was one play where 3 different times he gave up an offensive rebound because they kept on missing it, and then fouled the guy who eventually made the free throws. And JJ Redick was recorded. I don't know if you guys saw this, saying,
I
I
can't.
can't deal with that bum."
Yeah,
you
I
know,
did see it.
other words. It really, really is pathetic to watch him play basketball. It doesn't look like he's at all interested. And there was all those memes during the season that were talking about how they're working on a deal so that Ayton can work remote. They're going to try and make that happen for him next season.
That's funny.
Oh man.
Cool.
Mine is Notre Dame. Mine is Notre Dame football. Man, I will always hate Notre Dame football. I like Marcus Freeman, but I hate them, man. They're the main school crying right now about expanding the college football playoffs to 16
Sure
teams,
did last year too, right?
so they can continue to keep all the NBC money while playing a trash schedule. They always crying about something. Last year, they thought they should have been in over Miami, even though Miami beat them, even though head to head should actually matter. They didn't care. Now they're mad because USC won't play them this year, and USC should not play them because USC is in a conference, a real conference, and plays a real schedule. There's no benefit to playing Notre Dame. Meanwhile, Notre Dame's schedule next season is a joke, and they should be banned from playing next season. The only real game they have is against Miami at
Relegation.
home. Yeah, they play Miami at home, which is their only real game. Other than that, they play in BYU, Rice, Purdue, Stanford, North Carolina, Navy, Boston College, Syracuse, Michigan State, just a bunch of trash. trash teams and people want to defend them just because their
Not
record
that
is
good,
good.
yeah.
If they want to make the playoff, tell them to join the damn conference and stop trying to beg people to play them because nobody wants to play Notre Dame and neither should they. They need to join the conference. So and they shouldn't make the playoffs, even though they probably will. But they're my hogwash.
Fair. Mine, I'm gonna just throw to Vrabel and Rossini, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, hey, you do what you do. Y'all are out here looking like y'all at the Coldplay concert, getting caught, just reckless with it. And then all the other stuff I've been seeing has been they've been clowning tough, so it's been pretty funny. But yeah, I gotta throw it to them because come on, man. Like, I get it, but y'all got too much bread and space to be out here just at regular bars with it, holding hands for people on their cell phone camera to catch you. Come on now. That's
Well,
ridiculous. So
now, now I know why AJ Brown's going to New England. Now I know why. She had that inside scoop.
they gotta
Now
do
we know.
something. Yeah, they there's a lot of us not like insider potential that, she knew some stuff or was able to orchestrate some things in the background, which is funny, but we'll see what happens there. So that's that. And then Coop, you had the game ball. Gave a game ball out
Hmm.
one time. We've been doing that. What you got right now for a game ball?
University of Michigan found out earlier today that years ago Michigan put up $20 million in open AI, and now their investment is worth almost
Oh wow,
$2 billion. That's more NIL money for them to play with to buy
that's nuts.
rosters in basketball and rosters in football. So Michigan is not going anywhere as long as there's NIL around. They got
Oh
a
wow,
bunch
I
of
didn't
money to
know
play
that.
with and get players.
That's
Yep.
crazy. Okay,
They get my
interesting.
game ball.
Yeah,
Yep.
B.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the team. There's a team actually that did something that was pretty crazy. So in the current college football game, they pay the teams based on how much they get used in the game. And so one team, it's the Green Hens or something like that. One team um, put out a thing that said that they would give a one fan who $10,000 or some relatively small number if they could take the word them, which was like one of the worst teams in the in the game, and win the national championship. As a result of all the people who used it to build the dynasty team and win the championship, they got something like $10 million. I think it was like $14 million for the game, and they were one of the worst teams in college football. I believe it was the Green Hens, but um, anyways, it's
Slick.
pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's like I was sending mine to the Las Vegas Aces. They won the championship, but I don't know if y'all saw their rings. I was shout out to the org for the rings they made. So basically, for the WNBA team, they have it's a ring that um, it's like your standard, bigger ring, but the top of it like twists and pops off. So it becomes like a much smaller ring for the women to wear if they're wearing a gown or they're going out to an event. You don't have that big bulky ring on on your finger. It's
Mhm.
pretty dope design. So I'd say check it out. It's pretty cool how it looks. Basically just comes apart and you get just the trophies and like a small band instead of having a massive um, championship ring. So it's actually pretty fly and a cool concept with what they did. So shout out to Mark Davis, the Aces, and the whole organization. It's pretty cool looking. Check it out when you get a chance. Last segment, minute to win it. Thanks everybody for checking us out. We appreciate y'all being with us. Been a great time making the show with you guys, and looking forward to many more. Cool.
I don't have nothing. Just thank you guys for listening.
Hey.
And the team is Delaware. Thank you. I'm glad I could
Yeah,
look
Oh,
that
nice.
up real quick.
they're the Blue Hens though. You
There you go.
said what? Green what?
He couldn't figure out the green hens.
I
Yeah,
couldn't remember the
Oh,
name
okay,
of the
okay.
hens.
yeah.
I just
It was
remember
Oh,
it
it was
was a
okay.
hen of
hens.
some sort.
Got you,
Yeah.
got you, got
But
you. Okay,
anyways, it's Delaware. They were the worst
got you.
team in the college football game, and they offered $10,000 for winning a dynasty with them. Anyways, the only thing I'm going to say here is we lost a really great show, and if for those folks who watch Colbert, both his current show and the Tonight Show, it was taken off television because he hurt Trump's feelings, and the outpouring of respect. So for his last episode, all the other late night shows did reruns to make sure that they could clear for great ratings for his last show. They all went on his show. They did a podcast together afterwards. I'm sure Colbert will have something enough soon, but if you have a chance, check out his last show and kind of support him. And that's it.
Fair enough. Good stuff, B. Coop, as always, man, pleasure. We'll catch y'all on the next show. Thanks everybody for checking us out.